everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am so thankful to be back with you. I haven't done a video since January of 2024. There was a lot going on in 2024 for me, and I wasn't able to get to the videos, and I have missed it greatly. I want to tell you that your encouragement, those at ladies conference, at camp, the private messages I've received saying, are you still doing videos? I miss your videos. Where are they? Thank you so much. It very much encouraged me, and I'm very happy to be back doing videos. Although I was not completely sidetracked in 2024, I did accomplish my new book, If Michael Had Danced. The book isn't this big. This is the poster. If Michael Had Danced, it's available on Amazon. It's a book about marriage. I've received great feedback about it. So excited. If my 14-year-old daughter, Hope, which many of you know, she read some of it, and we were at a speaking engagement selling books, and she told the ladies at the speaking engagement, I'm only 14 years old and not married, and it convicted me. So rave review from Hope Jaco. So I'm very excited to be back with all of you. Thank you so much for your patience with me, and I hope that we'll just continue this journey together. I am writing 2 more books this year. The one I am currently working on is Your Relationship with the Word. And this is a lesson that I have taught for years, and the Lord adds more to it every time I teach it. The first time I taught it was at Indiana Ladies Conference. The first year that we did breakout sessions, I was in a classroom upstairs, I believe, and my topic was your relationship with the Word. And so all that teaching, what God has given to me throughout the years, will be in that book. And there will also be some practical tips on how to show young people or those that are new to the walk with God how to dig into the Word. So I'm really excited about that. And then another will be a 365-day devotional, which I've wanted to do for years. And that devotional will be based on all my journaling and Bible reading through many, many years. So I'm excited about both of those. Tonight, what we are going to discuss is something that's very personal, very, very dear to my heart. I struggled with what video to bring you our first time back, and to be honest, I thought I knew, and I just could not be comfortable in my spirit. And a couple of weeks ago, one morning, as I woke up, the Lord just started speaking to me. I mean, as soon as my eyes opened, He started bringing me back to 20 years ago, and He took me on this timeline. And what He showed me, I know that He wants me to share with you tonight. So if you'll give me just about 15 minutes, we're going to go on a journey a little bit to my past and look at all of our futures. Many of you have heard a lot of what I'm about to share tonight, either in my book or some other videos. But if you'll just bear with me, I'm going to tell you what the Lord has dealt with me. And I just pray that you'll receive it and that you'll be blessed by it. So when the Lord woke me up the other morning, He took me back 20 years to May of 2005. May of 2005 was May 19th was my 30th birthday. So yes, you can do the math. I will be 50 May 19th of this year, which blows my mind. Anyway, so May of 2005, my husband and I were evangelizing, and we were in Southeast Texas. And I was on the phone with my dad one day, and he said, "Are you excited about turning 30?" And I said, "Yes, but not without a baby." See, my husband and I had less than 5% chance of conceiving, and we had been married several years and had no children. And as soon as those words came out of my mouth, I said, "But I don't want to die before my 30th birthday." Well, the anxiety and the enemy got a hold of that lie, and I was convinced absolutely convinced that my life was over, that I was going to die before my 30th birthday. And if you want to know more about that, there's another video that I go more in depth. You can imagine how hard that was. It was also in May, which my birthday is close to Mother's Day. I was also asked to speak at a Mother's Day banquet and speak on Mother's Day. And I thought the Lord was just playing a big trick on me to ask me to speak to mothers on Mother's Day, being someone without children and turning 30. I had physical symptoms to back up my belief that I was going to die before my 30th birthday. I had a hot spot on the top of my head. I ended up having a CAT scan to make sure that, there wasn't an aneurysm or I wasn't about to have a stroke. Those were the lies that were coming against me. It was awful. It was awful. I go more about it in my book, What Shall I Fear? I did videos to go along with this book. The Lord delivered me from anxiety as I was writing this book. So if you want to hear more about this story in particular, you can grab that book on Amazon. During this time, I thought the Lord was giving me a premonition that I was going to die. So basically, he was telling me that my life was over. Physical symptoms. What's my husband going to do? He's going to be so sad when I'm gone. Those were the thoughts that were in my mind. And we had a wonderful, wonderful mentor, Reverend Lee Jackson. Actually, he just passed away this week. What a man of God, what a voice in our life, a mentor to my husband. So while I was going through this, my husband had never dealt with anxiety. He didn't know what to do. So he's like, call Brother Jackson. So I called Lee Jackson. And I remember one time in particular, I said, would God give me a premonition that I'm going to die? He said, Tracy, are you tormented? I'm like, yes, this is torment. He said, God does not torment his people. And so I tried to take that to heart. I tried to take to heart that it was just anxiety, but it was so real. So what the Lord showed me when he took me back to that time, he drew the timeline. That was in May. Well, guess what? I didn't die before my 30th birthday. The CAT scan came back perfect. There's nothing wrong with you, Tracy. This is your nerves. This is anxiety. This is depression. It was all my nerves causing all my symptoms. That was in May. In September, 4 months later, the Lord knew already that the church in Newcastle, Indiana was going to need a pastor and that my husband would be voted in as pastor. So let me just put this together for you. Let's look at my situation. Me being an absolute mess in all this fear and anxiety, not without a child. Oh, I'm going to die. God looking at me saying, Tracy, you're not going to die. You're going to live. I've got a work for you to do. I'm not done with you. In 4 months, I'm going to radically change your life, change Jeff's life. I'm transitioning. Your calling is going to look different. There's people in Newcastle that need you. But in all my stuff, do you think I would have thought for a second that God had a great plan? Oh, it was the furthest thing from my mind. And remember, all that was caused because of turning 30 without a baby. Little did I know that a year and a half later, I would give birth to my miracle son, and a little over 2 years after that, to my miracle daughter. What am I telling you this for? I am telling you this because the Lord took me on a journey and said, look at this timeline, Tracy. You were a mess. You thought your life was over. You thought I was done with you, but I wasn't. I still had a plan. Oh, someone listen to me tonight. I know it is cliche to say, don't give up. Hold on. I know it's cliche to say those things, but I am telling you, you do not know what God is about to do in just a short time. And I feel the presence of God as I say that. In just a short time, your situation is going to change. I had no clue in just a year and a half, my begging, my pleading for that child to be in my arms would be here. I had no idea. I knew the Lord had spoken the name Hope to me, but I didn't know if we would adopt Hope. I really did not think that she would come from my body, but she did. But in that time, in that moment, it seemed impossible. But I am telling someone, your situation looks hopeless right now. It looks horrible. It's a mess. Oh, but the Lord sent me to tell you, hold on. You don't know what I'm doing. You don't know what I'm about to do. If I could go back now at almost 50 years old to 30-year-old Tracy, I would say, girl, lift your head up. Those are all lies the enemy is telling you. Oh, Jesus, I feel the presence of God. Someone listen to me. Those are lies that the enemy is trying to tell you. Rebuke those lies in the name of Jesus. God has a plan. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, to give you a hope and a future." He wants to give you hope. He wants to give you an expected end. He wants to give you a future. He's got things planned for you that you have no clue about. Oh, if I could go back. Oh, and that morning when the Lord was dealing with me about this, tears just, oh, if I could go back and tell 30-year-old Tracy, you have no idea what God has planned, more than you could ever even ask him for, more than you could conjure up in your mind. And my friends, oh, you are so close to God completely changing your situation. Hold on. Hold on. Don't let go. Don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. Don't listen to the lies. God is about to move. A few weeks ago, and I'll just tell you how I put this in practice. A few weeks ago, I was praying about something that I'm currently currently worried about, currently frustrated about, currently like, oh God, what's going to happen? And I was praying, and I was in my room praying, and I was praying those anxious prayers. And I talk about that in my book, not praying anxious prayers, but sometimes we just have to have a little reminder. And I was praying anxious prayers like, oh God, all this is happening. Oh God, what are you going to do? We need this, we need that. What are you going to do? And the Lord stopped me and said, stop praying like that. Stop praying those anxious prayers. You need to pray with thanksgiving, expectation, and excitement. Those were the three things he told me: thanksgiving, expectation, and excitement. And I stopped and I said, okay, Lord. He said, you need to praise me for what I already have in store, for what I have already got planned. And so my prayer changed. Matter of fact, I started praying that, and then I picked up my phone and called my husband and said, this is what the Lord just spoke to me. He said that on this situation right here, we are to start praying with thanksgiving, expectation, and excitement. So I am telling you, my friend, I am telling you, my friend, whatever your situation is, you need to start praying with thanksgiving. Oh my goodness. Yes, that's hard. That's hard when you're in the middle of a struggle. But how about with thanksgiving like this? God, I know that you are in control, and I know that it seems impossible, but somehow, God, I am believing you to come through. I am believing you for it, Lord. That's how we need to pray, with expectation, with excitement, with thanksgiving. The last thing I'm going to leave with you tonight is Ruth chapter 1. Naomi had gone, she and her husband and sons had gone to Moab to escape the famine. Many of you know this story. Read the book of Ruth if you haven't. It's fantastic. But she and her husband and sons had gone to Moab because there was famine in Bethlehem, where they were from. They get to Moab. Everything's good for a while. The boys get married. But then her husband dies. and both of her sons die. And she and Ruth, her daughter-in-law, come back to Bethlehem. And when she comes back to Bethlehem, everyone is excited to see Naomi. Naomi's back, Naomi's back, yay. And she said, don't call me Naomi. Call me Mara. Mara means bitter. Call me Mara, because the Lord has dealt bitterly with me. Her situation was awful. You cannot say it wasn't. It did look like the Lord had dealt bitterly with her. She lost her husband and both of her sons. She comes back destitute to Bethlehem. Oh, but God had a plan. And we know that God turned her situation around. God gave her an inheritance through the kinsman redeemer, just like he did us through Jesus. And she got to be the grandmother of Obed, who was the father of Jesse, who was the father of King David, who was in the lineage of Jesus. Oh, Naomi. Oh, if someone could have got a hold of her when she came back and said, nope, don't you call me Naomi. Naomi, you call me Mara. I'm bitter. God has dealt bitterly with me. Oh, but then, we see the rest of her story play out. We see what God gave back to her. We see, what the Lord did for her. My friends, let me encourage you tonight. Don't give up. Don't let go. God has a plan. And if you will join me in praying with thanksgiving, expectation, and excitement, God is going to do it for you. If he did it for me, did he do what he did for me because I'm something special? No. Because he is faithful. And we put our trust and our hope and our confidence in him, and we stop listening to the lies of the enemy, then we know that just like, oh my goodness, just like with Naomi, God can turn our entire situation around. Oh, God is so faithful. My dear friends, I'm encouraging you to stop praying those anxious prayers. Pray with thanksgiving, encouragement, excitement, and expectation. God is going to move in your situation. It is so great to be back with you. I will probably start my every 2-week videos back. I'm still kind of working on some things, but I'm so glad to be back with you. Thank you for your patience with me. I hope this has encouraged someone. God has a plan. He's got a plan for you. He's working some things out. I want to read to you Jeremiah 29:11 just one more time before we go. For I know the thoughts I think towards you, says the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope. But we're not going to stop there. Let's not stop there. We usually stop at that because that makes us feel good. So we start right there. But let's go down 2 more verses. You ready for it? Then you will call upon me and go and pray to me, and I will listen to you. And you will seek me and find me when you search for me with all your heart. He's just a prayer away. If you go seeking for him, you will find him. And if you pray and thank him for what he's doing, I guarantee you, he has got great plans for you. I love you, my friends. It's great to be back with you, and I'll see you next time.